Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a mid-month for the month of December tarot oracle reading. Sagittarius, you are the star of this astrological insight, and happy birthday. If your sun sign is not Sagittarius, we still all have a little bit of Sagittarius in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Sagittarius in? That is where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you, and I have already washed and shuffled the cards, just giving them a quick cut, and we will begin with the underlying energy. And the underlying energy for the reading is the Emperor. So the Emperor is sitting on his throne. He is all four kings in the minor arcana wrapped into one person. The Emperor is all about performance. So that's a good way to start a reading. And the Emperor has a white beard representing that he's wise. He's got armor under his cloak here because he's ready for action at any moment. He is well respected in the community, and he is an authority figure of some sort. He may own a business. He may be like a CEO of a company. He could be a religious leader. He could be many things like that, but he's respected by a lot of people. And he's respected because whatever field he's in, he is a high performance individual. And then we have, the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords, I mean, you can see when you look at it, it doesn't look like it's a fun card. This is the energy of someone. It can be a potential heartbreaking decision. Perhaps the Emperor has to make a decision that he doesn't want to have to make, but it has to be made. I'm getting, for some reason, the word bankruptcy came up. It could be something regarding bankruptcy. It could be about love, clearly, or it could be about health. So there's some sort of decision that has to be made regarding something. In the background, it looks like that could be a cliff with a cloud, but it also looks like the heart is in the throat. And the energy, like this is the head and then the throat and the shoulders. So the energy is having to speak about something or not having been able to speak about something. Maybe he is speaking for someone, that kind of energy. So this could be like a judge or, a lawyer or something like that. And the energy, usually when they're an emperor, they're more like a prosecutor or, like higher up. And it could be a political figure, like that kind of energy. The Three of Swords, when you look at it, it looks really horrible. But when you look at it again, you realize, hey, the heart's really big for the swords. So these are kind of like more like pin pricks, going into the heart. So it's something that someone could recover from. But I don't know, the word bankruptcy came up. We'll see. This is representing the underlying energy for the internal dynamics, the internal forces in this reading, which will be in the bottom half here. And this energy is the, if you're laying awake at night and you're worrying, it would be the what ifs. What if, what if, what if? What if I do this? What if they do that? That kind of energy. So there's fulfillment here. And fulfillment is like that, it's a happy card. And it's a portal of energy that it's like the 111 or the 1111. It's saying be very careful what you're thinking about because you're manifesting at this time. So don't go to the negative. Don't be like, in an energy of woe is me energy. Really do your best to be like the Emperor and just find the solution and perform. The portal, the energy is, come through the portal for your fulfillment. There's a castle in the background. Quite often this represents marriage. So this could be something, an energy to do with love, that something, went wrong in a romance. We'll see. Okay, so the Ace of Swords is coming out. And the Ace of Swords is saying, this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. It's a gift from God that's coming through. And this is regarding these thoughts on this, on the Three of Swords. And this energy is the universe and God have your back. And just because, like, this card for me represents, like, there could be a court, because when you are in court, you swear on a Bible and say, I'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. So that kind of feels like it might have something to do with that. And then, yeah, here comes the Sun. So the Sun is the happiest card in the deck. The Sun is, it's God stepping in. So that's the energy, this fulfillment. Once the truth comes out, you're going to be very happy. You deserve this fulfillment. Now, if this is regarding a marriage, there's some truth coming out about a marriage, and it seems to be court-related. And then we have the happiness following that. So the fulfillment, the truth, and then happiness. The truth will set you free. So the sun energy, there's sunflowers in the background because the sunflowers follow the sun. And this small child sort of represents someone that is, born to do something, or something that this fulfillment was supposed to be part of your destiny. We have the moon. And so as I'm doing this reading, we just had the full moon, I guess it would be 2 days ago. So that energy is starting to wane a little bit. It's not as intense as it was. It was a very intense full moon. It was cold moon and also a super moon, so it was super bright. And when the full moon energy is out and about, quite often emotions run very high, and especially when it's a super moon. But this represents the full moon, the new moon, and the sun all at once. So it's any illusions, secrets, hidden energy has risen to the surface. The dog and the coyote or the wolf are howling at the moon together. So this represents your domestic and your wild side. So it could be you've been, too domestic or not domestic enough. And this lobster represents coming out of the emotional waters, and just climbing up on shore. And look at the lobster's going to follow his path. It's talking about it being, a lobster is not that good on land. So it may take a while, and there may be dangers, on either side. But this is a reward for following your path. And it's interesting that it is following this full moon energy. So maybe some truth was revealed and during this full moon, which is when that's when the full moon is a great time to release anything that is not working for you. And, and the truth often comes out on the full moon. People are really emotional, and sometimes people blurt things out or whatever. And then we have the new moon. So this energy, we have a new moon coming up on the 20th of December. And that one is in Capricorn, which is the sign after Sagittarius. Sagittarius likes to go on adventure, and Sagittarius has been kind of stuck in this homebody energy because it's the holiday season. I feel like Sagittarius is like wanting to burst out and just get away from family and friends and just go and, have some fun. Maybe you want to go on a holiday in the sun. That's that kind of energy. But the new moon on the 20th, I'm probably going to do a bonus reading for the new moon because it's been coming up a lot. Like this energy of the full moon and the new moon has been coming up a lot, and it's revealing a lot of hidden energy that's been hidden for quite some time. This could be, the heartache that is causing you from not having this fulfillment yet. The truth is coming out about it, and the sun and the moon and the moon are shining light on whatever it is. And so somebody's been in the dark not knowing. It almost is like between these two pillars here. You have to excuse me, my cat is thinking that she wants to do the reading instead of me. You have to sit nice on my lap. You can't attack me while I'm doing it. She wants to play. So this is, that's a good girl. So this is the new moon energy coming in on the 20th of December, or this is something that happened back on November 20th in that new moon. And the new moon is more, it's talking about new beginnings, a new way of doing things, new thoughts coming in. The swords represent thoughts, and it feels like whatever happened here has been revealed, and now this person was stuck. And this sometimes represents a closed mind or not wanting to see something. And it also can represent going inward and not using your eyes. You know, because you have eyes, you cannot see. A lot of times people say, well, when I see it, I'll believe it. But the problem is you don't really see the full spectrum of light. So even when you think you're seeing everything, you really only seen a very, very small portion of it. And even in the you know, in the universe, there's all that dark energy. There's more dark energy than there is, you know, of the unknown than there is of the known. And so that's kind of the kind of energy that's coming in, is maybe you went inward to be able to use your intuition to, you know, ask a logical question and then go use your intuition and feel for the answer. The energy here of the, you know, a crab or a lobster coming out of the water is like Cancer energy. And that's kind of where Sagittarius has been. Like, Cancer's all about the home. Cancer loves home so much that they actually carry their home on their back. And so that kind of energy is coming up. And it's also about taking your emotional armor off and really taking a look. So some sort of energy regarding this, but I feel like there's also some sort of authority involved here because of the Emperor and because of this energy here. Someone was left out in the cold. So when we go inward like that, sometimes it'll represent, like this card can represent someone who's been left out of the cold. And it's a 50-50 proposition. It's kind of like the energy I'm getting is like half-assed. That's what I'm getting. So we have someone who's on crutches and they're able to move, but not very efficiently. And we have someone here, like the two of them are collaborating with each other to empower each other as much as they can, even though they both are, you know, debilitated here. And there's a church in the background, so they could go inside to the church and get some respite, but they've decided to carry on their journey and do the best they can with what they have. And that's that kind of energy that's coming up. So you may have been in some sort of position where you didn't really know all the facts. And it seems to be involving possibly, this doesn't have to represent marriage, but it quite often does. This could be feeling married to a business and maybe it went bankrupt and having to deal with all that. It could be an energy of someone that you're married to doing something that's left you out in the cold that you didn't know they were doing, and then you found out. That kind of energy. And it doesn't necessarily mean they were cheating, but maybe they were doing something with, you know, with your commitment is like, so when you get married, that's a legal binding commitment. And it's also about finances. Like if you're married to someone, your finances are enmeshed in theirs, and maybe your partner was doing something with the finances and you weren't aware of it. I feel like that's because there's pentacles here. And I just the truth coming out, the whole court thing, the heartache over it, being taken by surprise, like not wanting to see it, that kind of energy. So this is representing how you identify with yourself, and like you identify with yourself as someone who was happy and had a really good life, and that everything was fulfilling and you had what you wanted or were well on the way. This card sometimes represents, you have the down payment for the castle. And if you can afford a castle and the down payment for it, you're doing really well, but you still have to pay the mortgage. And it feels like this could be something about real estate, that kind of energy, something. And then this here is abundance, your self-worth. So this is like how it's like you want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But it's not like the happiest card in the deck comes after it. So this is going to be very happy for someone, and this is going to leave someone else in the cold. They didn't know about it, and it's heartbreaking. So it could be heartbreaking what was done to you, and now the truth is coming out. So you're going to be in this fulfillment position. It could be about, you're on the other end of it, and you didn't even know that your partner was doing this, and now you found out, and now you're also responsible for their actions, that kind of energy. This is how much do you value yourself? Do you want the truth? And then the happy, this is about communication in your early life, like the people that were in your life, and it looks like you had a happy childhood. And then home and family, your emotional foundation. There was a lot of hidden illusions. That's what's coming up. So, okay, it's starting to come in. There's a lot of shifty business that was going on in your family. When you were growing up, the energy is, everything seemed like, this could be an emperor that chose to make his money in a different way than, like, that wasn't legal or something, and the whole family wasn't aware of the hidden illusions, like in the background there, what was really going on, and nobody really wanted to see it. So they were left out of the cold. Like this energy is talking about not wanting to see what the emperor was up to. That's the energy I'm getting. I feel like the emperor is supposed to be like trustworthy and all of that, but if the emperor isn't, then it can be a real mess, because they're usually someone who has a lot of power, and usually there's some court coming up here. So like legalities is what I'm saying. So this is about the creativity, and if the creativity wasn't was on the wrong side of the law, then and this is talking about daily routines and habits and in your health. And so this energy is really debilitating for a lot of people. I feel like someone is going, what if this comes out? What if so-and-so finds out? What if what if I go bankrupt from this? What if I have to tell my wife what I did, or my husband? Remember, the emperor is an archetype, and this could represent a man or a woman in their masculine energy. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit, and we'll get the energy for the external forces here. Okay. Conviction beyond a doubt. So whatever has happened here, the external forces have found out about it. It's no longer just like, this could be like people in the family didn't even know, but then the family found out and they were like, oh, let's just hope this doesn't come out. But unfortunately for the energy of this person, it is coming out. And this is, without a doubt, it's coming out. And it's a lot of action is going to be happening around it. And you notice like this person, he's gone to high ground. Wands represent actions that you've planted. Like this is actions that you've taken or other people have taken that you now have to, now that you know, it's like knowing what you know. Once you know what you know, you can't pretend you don't know it. And now you have to be able to get to higher ground and defend yourself. So this person might be in court. There might be a court decision coming out. He might be have had to get this could be a defense lawyer, that kind of energy. But this is saying they've got one foot in one world and one foot in the other. On one foot we've got a boot, and on one foot we have a shoe. And so this energy is saying that whatever was happening, this person has, it took everybody by surprise, because maybe this was happening a long time and they never thought this secret would come out. And when it did, it was quick and it was public. It's going to be public is what's coming up. So this energy is these 3 swords being hung on the wall, and this one being put at rest. This person is in the church. They've decided to go meditate, pray, go into the church and get help from God is what's coming up. And ask for the truth to come out. Ask for justice, basically, is what's coming up. And laying this down, surrendering this to the Most High. The words on this window say Pax. And so Pax means peace of mind. So whatever has happened, somebody has laid down the swords, and now that they know what they know it's too much. They have to surrender it to a higher authority. That higher authority being God. In spiritual court trickles down to physical 3D court. And then it's taken a lot of courage, the strength and courage to be able to face these fears and to face the fact, I feel, that this person didn't know. Like, you might be someone just totally shocked by what this emperor has done. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. This isn't possible. Not from this person. This is someone I always looked up to. This is someone I admired. And this is reaching in, this is about your childhood, everything, facing the fears from your child, everything you thought you knew, you don't. That's the energy. So that would be very heartbreaking. But having the courage to face it, because these external forces are coming in now. When the external forces are coming in, if you're laying in bed at night and you can't sleep, it's like, what the F happened? EF, external forces. And the infinity symbol talks about, over the head, talks about when you have control of your mind and you face your fears, and you just face the truth, basically, that it requires courage and strength. And that's what the lion represents, fears that you've had since you were a child, or that you didn't even know you had. But whatever happened when you were a child has come out now. That's the energy. Whatever, God forbid that is, because it's not good, whatever it is. And then we have the foundation. So I feel like this energy is about the pentacles being left out of pentacles. And so there's some sort of energy. Usually this will say that you have a strong foundation, but it feels like here that the foundation is standing on this kind of ground. You thought you had a strong foundation, but you actually weren't aware of what one foot was. It's when one foot isn't aware of what the other foot is doing, it's hard to grow. And this is about playing small and being small. Staying in this childhood energy, not wanting to know. I think on some level your intuition was saying, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel right. But also when you're a child, you don't have control over, what other people are doing. And so then the energy here, walking away. So someone's walking away from a lot of work that they've done. They're being forced to walk away is what's coming up. And look at it again. It's about the full moon and the new moon. So whatever was happening to you, this is, as I'm doing this reading, it's the 6th of December. The full moon was on December 4th. There is about 3 days before and after where you really feel this energy. And if you've ever worked in a bar or in a church or as a police officer or any of that kind of energy, you'll know this full moon energy can be very emotional. And also because we're in the holiday season, if you know, if really like feeling left out of the celebration, like this, all this shift is happening in your internal world and your family, and everybody else is celebrating Christmas, it can really feel really tough to deal with. And once again, the new moon is coming coming up here. I really feel like by the 20th of December, right before Christmas, there's going to be a lot of information that comes out, you know, for you. And so the external, whatever was happening externally is going to come to the forefront. And they've been forced, this is saying, like, this is someone walking away from, like, they've put 8 cups of energy into this. And this is the only card about love coming out, other than that this might be marriage. So I feel like someone's walking away from their marriage, possibly because of what has happened, and they're like, you know, they're just in shock. They're like, I'm walking, like, you did this. Well, I didn't, I thought it, like, you know, you could have been married to someone for like decades, and this is what you did. Or if you're the child of this person, saying, you know, I don't want any part of this. That's the energy I'm picking up. And I don't feel like it's necessarily the external forces feeling this way. This is the internal forces inside feeling this way about the external forces. The Queen of Pentacles. So this energy is talking about the Queen of Pentacles is someone that is, like, she's studying the pentacle. And, you know, we've got the pentacle close to the heart and the crowning glory. But I feel like the foundation is like this now. She thought she had a strong foundation. This could be, remember, this could be a woman in her masculine, or a woman in her feminine energy, or a man in their feminine energy. And so this person thought they had a strong foundation. They thought that everything was doing good. They thought they had a good marriage. They thought they knew their partner. And it's going to be affecting their pentacles and everything they worked hard for their whole life. And that's the energy I'm getting. And they're like, what the F happened? That's what they're doing. And that, like, the Queen, though, is well known for being able to make something out of nothing. And so the good news is, like, you've been successful, you will be successful again. But I'm just getting someone who's, like, really in shock, like, just like, what? And the Knight of Cups. Okay, so the Knight of Cups with the Cup of Love. This is a communication coming in from the Queen. The Queen of Pentacles is receiving a message regarding the love of her life. Basically, this person she looked up to as the knight in shining armor, the person that she had total faith in, that she trusted, finding out that there was some external forces about this person, people that she didn't even know that they were involved in their business. That's what it feels like. This is not great energy, Sagittarius. And remember, this could be male or female, and this could be male or female in the feminine energy and in the masculine energy. And if it's an emperor, the emperor has been in charge. Emperors are in charge, and this person, I feel like, just trusted this energy. So yeah, it's pretty shifty. But the good news is, if this is you here, your internal dynamics, your internal forces, you deserve to be happy. The truth is coming out. So if this is representing this energy, and this is representing what happened, you are going to get the truth, and the truth will set you free. Let's look into this a little bit more here. And just see, I'm going to, if you're enjoying this reading, please do like and comment. And I'm going to clarify this with my oracle, Tales from the Vector. So I started this in 2007. I'm just shuffling the cards here while I talk so that we can get tuned into these cards. Sorry, I'm just kind of, oh, there it is. Okay, usually a card jumps out of my deck. So the Tales from the Vector is an oracle I started in 2007. There's 64 paintings. I'm an artist, so I was having quite a bit of fun painting these, ouch, painting these really large dragon paintings. And this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. In 2020, I finished all 64 paintings, and I've had the cards out and about at psychic fairs for several years, but now I'm, I have all the paintings done. I've been working on getting the deck out there in physical form, and I'm just playing with the cards for a few months here with you guys online so that I can get the book written up that goes with it. I'm going to have like the numbers of the paintings on my website, tailsfromthevector.com, TAILS from thevector.com. Those paintings are numbered in the gallery, so if you want to go check that out after this reading to see what the paintings look like, and there's more information there. I will have in the description box below the order that the paintings come up so you know which ones to look for. So this Taurus energy is about giving and receiving. And this Taurus energy is about the give and take of life, and also giving and taking in life. And so there's something that happened here. This is about being able to receive. Like toddlers like to receive, they don't like to share. You may have noticed that. So this energy is talking about someone behaving in a way like a toddler where they were receiving. They were learning how to take, but they weren't learning how to give. And one thing that I've really noticed is quite often people in spiritual communities will talk about giving, and then they'll talk about taking as receiving. So it's actually give and take. Like if you're receiving, you're taking. The thing is that when people have a belief that there's a limited amount of to take, then they fall into this energy of not recognizing that they're receiving from the universe, from the Most High, and that there's plenty to go around. And so that energy has an effect on people. And then from the bottom, look at this. We've got the Emperor clarifying this heartache. So it feels like the Emperor was like what a lot of readers would say in reverse. I feel that all the cards have the potential to be in reverse, standing straight up, and I like to take them in context. But this is clarifying this energy. And we have anger. So this is about, anger is the gift that keeps on giving. And what that means is, like in a family, if you're raised with anger, you tend to raise your kids with anger, and it just keeps getting passed down one after a time, like time after time. So there's some energy there. And it's talking about the gift being anger instead of being the gift that it was supposed to be. So there was some anger behind it, like an attitude is, I can take this if I want. That's the energy. And the only message, communication that we have coming in is from the Knight of Cups, and it's talking about this. It's not, that's about, okay, this, the only other cups is walking away from what you thought was love, basically. It's not like fun energy, but whoever, I'm reading for you, so the internal boundaries and dynamics are strong here once you get the truth. Yeah, there was a blind spot. So the scotoma, and we have what they call scotomas in your eyes, and it's kind of like if you were looking at a screen, there's little pixels where you can't see clearly, but you don't really notice it because there's so many pixels. So it's like you think you're seeing everything, like I was talking about, that you don't see the full spectrum of light. The dark energy that people refer to as a black hole is actually full of energy. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not there, and that's the kind of energy we're in. This is saying there was a blind spot you didn't know about. And it's also saying there's a good reason why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. You want to check into what happened here, and then you need to move forward if you want to be a happy person. And this is saying you deserve to be happy. You didn't have anything to do with it. You didn't know about it. This could be some injustice that was done to you, and this emperor and that can belong to the external family. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that happened in your family, but something happened here. And the world. So yeah, once you get neutral to this, you're going to be in this position where this is the happiest card in the deck. Once the illusion is out, you will no longer be left out in the cold. There's going to be a lot of abundance coming in. This is fulfillment. So, and this is happy. The Empress. So this could represent the wife of, like that energy I was picking up, the wife of the emperor. Like the Empress is all, she generates. She's constantly generating. And the energy is like all of the queens rolled into one. But, you know, out of all the royalty, the only royal person that showed up is the Queen of Pentacles. So it could be that the Queen of Pentacles, was married to this figure and didn't know about this. You could be the Empress. And now this, what was taken from you is now being returned to you. And that is a fulfillment, and it's happiness. And it speaks about ultimate fulfillment, healing from your childhood, like knowing the truth. The truth has come out, that kind of energy. And then we have guiding star. So this is about your intuition being correct. On some level, you knew something, but maybe didn't know what it was. But you know, we can all feel like when something's off, and that kind of energy, and like, it's like whatever this energy of this emperor was doing has either affected your family, or this emperor is part of your family. And then Gemini. Okay, so the full moon, the cold moon, was on the 4th. That was a Gemini moon. And Gemini is Mercury. So is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury was in retrograde until the end of November. So it's kind of talking about at the end of November, the communication improved, and some sort of communication came in here. And that's what's caused this to start getting the ball rolling to get to the truth. The standing on conviction, standing your ground, knowing what you know, is Capricorn energy. So that is that's someone who is very ambitious, and this energy can sometimes be regarding like temptation, that kind of energy. Capricorn energy is actually represented by the devil, and it's right after the Sagittarius energy. And I'm just picking up this energy, like, you know, the devil is just temptation, right? So, and it's ambition. So someone, the emperor's ambition may have run away with him, and he was tempted to do something that shouldn't have been done. So this is about being responsible. This is Saturn being like, this is like really deep energy. This is like being responsible for your actions, and especially if you're in an authority figure, like being, you know better, but you're tempted by it because you think you're going to be able to get away with it. And so it's kind of like having one foot in one world and one foot in the other. And I'm not saying that Capricorn energy is like, it's not devilish, but Capricorns are most likely to be tempted by material gain, because that's what their sign is about. It's about climbing the mountain to get to a goal, facing challenges and seeing all the possibilities within them, and climbing the mountain to get there. And so this energy is a beautiful, like, it's a really strong energy when it's strong, and when it's weak, it can be really weak. And then we have abuse of power coming up. Yeah. So this is defining the external forces. There was abuse of power. Someone took something that did not belong to them, and they were in authority position to be able to do so. That's the energy that's coming up. We have an energetic upgrade. That's the Magician energy. The Magician is also ruled by Mercury. And so that energy is this Gemini energy. I feel like there is an energetic upgrade on the full moon, that energy I was talking about. And it may not have, like, it may feel, it doesn't matter which end of the spectrum of this you're on, it doesn't feel like it was, like it's really challenging energy. But the good news is, I feel like by the new moon, things are going to, like, that's the 20th of December. This has been coming up for a lot of people. So remember, this is a general reading. So sometimes, like, if these signs come up, they might be someone that you know, like, that has that sign. But when I'm reading on a general level, and that could be true, but like when I'm reading on a general level, I'm looking at the stage of life someone is in, and the energy of, you know, what, when it's really strong energy and when it's weak energy, not necessarily a person. And so this is talking about when people get really ambitious and they're in power and they do things that are not beneficial to the innocent people. Like if they're a government official, someone that abuses that power to make money at the expense of the people that they're governing. A king that does that, you know, a queen that does that, that kind of energy. And so, and the magician, that's an energetic upgrade. That energy is about facing the fears from, you know, if you thought you knew someone when you were growing up, like this could be someone in your family and you thought you knew them, and now you're finding this out and you're just actually just, I'm getting there's a lot of shock. And then there's dissemination. Elephant, what elephant? So this is kind of an energy of the talk is scrambled, and it quite often represents political talk, you know, like, or lawyer talk. Every single like profession has its own language, and it, you know, if you're not aware of the language, like, you know, legal language and political language, and if you're a scientist, there might be like, you know, like mathematical language. If you're in the hood, you might have your own language there that other people wouldn't make out. Like, it's that kind of energy. It's dissemination because you don't really understand what people are saying when they're talking. And it's not always intentional, but people get into like professions, and then you start realizing like, oh, like they start talking in their language to people that are not in that profession, are not going to have the same understanding as someone that is in that profession. So it's sort of like this energy where you know something's wrong, but you can't put your finger on it because you're not educated in that area. Justice is being served. Redemption, karma, is being handed out here, and karma is just cause and effect from actions that were taken or not taken. So sometimes people might have known about this, didn't say anything, but they weren't involved, but they knew it was going on, but they didn't say anything. And that energy is sometimes the worst kind of karma, because you're watching this happen and you're not doing anything about it. So that is talking about justice on a bigger scale, and that trickles down from this, and it's going to create a whole new world, which is like really, like, if this is something like on a big scale in the world, it's like a lot of information is coming out, and we're seeing that quite a bit now. I feel like because we moved from Pisces into Aquarius, the age of Aquarius is very technical, and we have like all the AI coming out now, like systems can be like tracked way easier now. So AI has its negatives and its positives, and that's kind of what this is saying, this in-between energy, right? When you're in between, you have to get neutral to the extremes to be able to be neutral to what's in between. And the Hierophant is coming out. So this is right on the traditional structure. Yeah, like the court system, something's coming out that we might hear about on the internet or whatever on a bigger scale, or this could be happening within your family or your community on a smaller scale. The energy as above, so below, that's the magician pointing to the sky and then pointing down to earth, like whatever happens on the earth first happens in the spiritual realm. Because everything that we manifest in matter on the earth begins with a thought, right? And so intent. So the person might have even had good intentions on some level, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and the truth will come out, and that's what's happening. I'm a fan of the truth coming out. It can be painful or whatever, but it's, you know, when the truth comes out, it sets you free. And that's when the illusions are broken, it allows for the world to become a better, more neutral place. So I hope you've enjoyed this, Sagittarius. It's quite the reading here. Please do like and comment if you have, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. I will be back with another reading for sure at the end of the month for you. And I'm also thinking about, I probably will do the new moon bonus reading, because it's coming. This energy is not just coming up in your sign. It's been in almost every single sign that I've done. I feel that's because we're moving into the new into a new year, and we're ending this one. So bye for now. I will see you at the end of the month for sure, and watch for that bonus reading for the new moon.